Today we're going to take on a project that I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to make like a 50s style Limba Explorer, and I've always wanted to make like a 70s style Mahogany Explorer. So we're going to take on the Mahogany one first. This one's going to be a lot more handwork and a lot more detail-oriented stuff than usual. By the way, you're in Dave's world. This is a guitar I've had started for a little while, but we have the body template and the neck I'm kind of already sort of in on. So let's just resume. This thing's radical. It kind of reminds me of like, I think I'm going to do it like an aged Explorer. Lightly aged, like with checking and stuff. We'll see. I'm basically hand making these entire things, which is just a whole host of new and unusual challenges as opposed to... So we don't have this totally glued yet, but I've chiseled this out to the point where it pretty much is just what I want. Like the whole neck and everything. So one cool thing about the Explorer is you can kind of just like clamp it up in the vise because it's so big and just sort of work on it. It's mostly shaped. I think this neck and everything will be kind of like not like a 60s blade, but pretty thin. This guitar is going to be really sweet. It's really experimental, but really sweet. It's a little different than like a Gibson Explorer in some ways, as you'll see during the video and the process of building it. But for the most part, like the neck angle and the tenon and all that stuff's the same. Probably going to make a couple of these. They're really cool. So we have our Mahogany Explorer. This will be like the 70s special. We're going to do like a kind of like a tinted sort of 76 like brown. Maybe a little bit different than that, but pretty close. And we're going to age it. I'm going to go ahead and mix up our color now. We're still going to go for that like brown 76 Explorer look. But I have a really nice red piece of mahogany here. So we're going to try and kind of get somewhere between that like yellowish, brownish vintage look and still keep it a little bit natural. I kind of have an idea of what it's going to look like in my head. So we're going to mix up our own paint and our own tints and stuff. I even make my own pore filler. So I get exactly what I want. Style Mahogany Explorer. So I've got the brown tint on it, and it's pretty much like I would think that they would have looked. It might be a little bit more yellow, which is kind of what I was going for. So we'll keep spraying. So I did make our pickguard and our back plate yesterday. The pickguards that are for sale for an Explorer, I make my own pickguards regardless, but they're almost never really right. They're too small, like here and here. So of course I made my own anyways, and I used the single ply kind of 70s look. At this point, the guitar is completely buffed and polished, ready to go, but before we hardware it, this is going to be an aged Explorer. So I'm going to do checking and some dents and dings and stuff. The dents and dings I don't like to get too crazy on, and the tarnish of the hardware I don't really like to get terribly crazy on. I just want it to look like a nice old guitar. So it does get a little graphic showing the the checking, so I'm not really sure I'm gonna do that and show my process, but it's pretty graphic. Gonna use the really cool Godot tuners with the amber key heads. Really cool. This is a really good one to like just hand tighten. Super expensive. So these are pretty much like PAFs. We got it from our guy Sanchez again. He says, "These were so cool to make. I hope you enjoy them." Got our checking. We're going to put our strings on and get this thing set up, and then I'll do the wiring. I ran our ground wire, but I play in a country band, so I I mean, these aren't really used in that situation very often, but it's strung up. I just don't have any of the electronics in yet. But I am so tempted to make the bridge pickup volume control here because it'll be easier to play for like a country guy. Using the volume and the bridge pickup, I almost feel like... So we're playing like the Harley Davidson dealership. It's like a really big party, but the Explorer sounds awfully good, even for the country stuff. It's like a tuning fork, really sustainy and really good.
Thank you for being here. Without you, we won't be able to put on these great shows. Throughout the day, don't forget to check out. Pretty wild one.
I did try and dial in like metal. I do love like Mesa Boogie, but it's all for like clean stuff. So this one's gonna go in the history books for Dave's World as being a tremendous success. Being the first set neck Explorer I've ever made, I expected it to be pretty good. I knew I was gonna take my time on it. I didn't just build it all in one shot. I just kind of kept coming back to it. I sort of treated it like a specialty project. The pickups we got from Sanchez Pickups in Roswell, New Mexico. They're awesome. This mahogany sounds absolutely incredible. Just all the hardware, the Godot hardware, everything on it. There's no Gibson parts on the guitar at all, except for the pickup rings. It has this huge tone. Everybody loved it. People came out of the crowd and complimented it. Really exciting. So I'm glad that we got the video done. And we're going to list this one on reverb.com with the video and everything. And it'll be somebody's. It is such a cool guitar. It just sounds, plays, looks, everything. It's incredible, and I'm really proud of it. I worked really hard on this one. Hopefully the next few I make don't take quite this long as this one, but I really put my heart and soul into it. And oh, it's really a special one. I do have a Gibson case for it, like a real Gibson case, and it just fits in there so perfect. I'm really proud of it. So thanks for visiting Dave's World.
You know, I feel sorry for those of you that don't get to enjoy this because this is really enjoyable.